you want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Build it and they will come. This is a New Jack City, homie. Turn up your sound component wherever you are right now.
We jack up the volume, we'll be able to tell what you had for lunch.
The next hour is going to change everything you think you know about building your business, starting your business, and raising the money for your business.
Show me the money! Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another Reg.A Money Show. This is Ron Costa in studio with Miguel Dotris in Las Vegas over the iHeartRadio network. Miguel, how are you doing today?
I am doing outstanding, Ron. It is an exciting time to be part of the Reg.A industry here, and we are, as always, bringing all of our listeners the greatest and latest information when it comes to Reg.A and Reg.A Plus around the industry. Now, Ron, we have now branched out and are bringing guests in from our border friends in Canada. Our guest today, it comes all the way from Canada for you guys, so that way he has some really interesting things that he's going to be talking to you later on in the show. You know, how software is changing the landscape of how the Reg.A Plus deals are being done online, offline, broker-dealer, market maker, or even just, you know, self-underwritten deals by companies. This is an incredible time, dude. So many people, Ron, so many people, so many different industries are looking to find a way to get involved in this Reg.A, in the Reg.A. They just want to be involved somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And we always talk about marketing and branding or your Reg.A product. This guest that we're going to bring on in the second half of the show is going to blow your mind on how to market your Reg.A project on a really unique and, I mean, it's a great way. It's really, really, it's a branding dream, basically. So everyone's going to want to listen to that. We'll bring him on the second half of the show. But, Miguel, I got to tell you, Reg.A is not without controversy. You know, there's two sides to every Reg.A, and like I mentioned in the last show, and you know as well, we get a lot of questions on this show. And I thought I'd read a question from a viewer, from a listener, I would say, that it's kind of interesting. You want to tackle this right now? Should we go with this question?
Well, that's so you know, we're bringing the you guys understand that Ron and I, we take questions. We call it the email or the mailbag segment. So you want to do an email segment right now, Ron? Let's do it, baby. Let's jump in into it. Give me the question.
All right.
Wait. You set me up. There's going to be controversy in this question or what?
Yeah. There's a little controversy in this question, but let me read this. The question is from James W. out of Newport Beach, California. Okay, and ready? I'm going to read this word for word. Okay. He says, "Just finished listening to your show. Not to be too negative because you guys are really great at what you do, but how can you say Reg.A is great when every company on your offerings page is losing investors' money? ? I'm really trying to adopt this Reg.A thing, but I'm not seeing it. I don't really expect you to address this question on your show, but facts are facts, and this is a real question that deserves a real answer. I think other than that, I really like what you're doing for the industry. Thank you." So, Miguel, what do you say to that?
All right. Well, first of all, you said it was Greg, right?
James.
James. Well, first of all, I say, James, thank you very much for listening. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody keeping it real here. You know, Ron and I have from the very beginning, have always brought you guys the latest information on Reg.A. We've brought you companies and businesses that are qualified with Reg.A. We've brought you contenders, companies that are thinking. But James, a very good point. The most of the companies that are going after Reg.A, my friend, here's the problem, okay? And I'm not going to say it's a problem, dude, because that would be unfair. I think it's more of the opportunity, all right? You know, when Ron and I, we're always constantly talking to industry insiders and everybody on the street that wants to deal with Reg.A. And here's the issue that has come up, okay? It's very simple, very simple. A lot of these Reg.As are getting funding from retail investors, from the crowd, right? These are the groups of the affinity, the loyalists of these companies that have, you know, followed these companies for many years and that want to continue to be involved because they love the company. Those guys are long. Okay, they're long. They're going to be holding on to that company because they believe in the long-term strategies that this company has, and they're long on the stock. On the other side of that, James, are going to be the people who are short. Okay, these guys are looking to make a quick buck. Okay, these guys are looking to get in as low as possible and sell as high as possible. And what you're seeing is an unprecedented access to capital markets and liquidity, because these Reg.A's are going out on the street at $10, $12 dollars, and then all of a sudden they're shooting up. They're shooting up because of the excitement, because of the possibilities, because of the people who are believing in these companies. And then there's the short guys who are sitting right on the sidelines, just plucking away and making some money on this, because they've never been long on the company. All they're doing is just looking at the speculation building around the company, and they're trying to make $2 or $3 here and there on each stock, which is a great margin of profit. If you got in early enough on these Reg.A's. And is there profit to be made? Yes. And what you're seeing is people taking profits, just like any other stock. And our good friend, Darren Marble, who was on the show with us a few months back, he was describing something that a lot of people in the industry are looking forward to. And what we're looking forward to is like this hybrid type of Reg.A, where there's, 70 to 80% of crowd, just investors who are looking for the company to succeed, to put in $1, okay, today to maybe get $1.50 in 3 years or $2 in 3 years. These guys really believe in what this company is doing. Those guys are what we like to call, and everybody in the industry refers to as the crowd. They are the Main Street guys, okay? But you have to have the Wall Street. I'm not saying that you have to, Ron. I don't want to say have to, because have to is such a strong connotation to it. I want to say people are following, okay, because there's no roadmap, guys. What we're talking about here, this has never been done before. Every single one of these Reg.A's that you see is unprecedented actions, waters that nobody has ever navigated before, and every deal is different. There's not just like one industry. There's robotics and restaurants and software and cars. Everybody's taking advantage of this. But what I want to say to you, James, and what's important is what you're seeing in those charts that are available on IPO2Go and Reg.A those websites that Ron worked so hard on. What you're seeing there is you're seeing profit takers, man. Those profit takers are getting in, and they're realizing there is some money to be made on these Reg.A's. They're coming in early, and they're getting out early, because those are the guys that we refer to as the Wall Street guys. These guys, they don't care. I'm not saying that they don't care necessarily, but they're looking at the fundamentals of the company. They're looking at, there's no way that this is going to support this type of stock price. I'm going to buy low so I can sell it high. And then what we like to see in the industry is we like to see the Wall Street go down to like about 10% of an offering, so like 90% of it, because right now it's probably about 50-50, Ron. And what we'd like to see is maybe go 90-10. So you have 90% of the crowd, guys that are long, guys that are going to support it, guys who are not going to sell their stock for a couple of months, for a couple of years, to wait till the company really grows exponentially and really develops their business plan. You're always going to have that 10% that's going to come in and run. They're going to try to take a profit immediately after the company, gets listed on an exchange. And, James, it's a great question. Are people losing money in Reg.A? Yeah. Are people also companies being funded? Yeah. So there's a lot of positive and a lot of negative about Reg.A, but we've never said that Reg.A is better than sliced bread. We've always said that Reg.A Plus is an unprecedented access to capital markets, and it allows investors to level the playing field, so that way the Main Street investor and the Wall Street investors have the same opportunity to invest in the same company, that no longer are your qualifications of how much money you make and how much income you have a qualification to see if you can make that investment into that company. And so I think what you're seeing, James, is that you're seeing some people take profit. You're seeing some people stay long on it, and eventually are going to make profit because, you know, you get into stock so that way you can buy and sell. And that's what Reg.A is all about. It's about a company being able to sell some of its equity to finance its business plan. So, James, thanks for listening. Thanks for bringing the controversy to the show. We appreciate it. We love all our listeners to engage with us. This is about a conversation about something that is changing the way that the industry of capital market access is being navigated these days. And what you're seeing, guys, is a lot of people who are turning their heads and going, well, how is this going to work? And it's going to work because I'll tell you what, it's never been done before. So everything that you're seeing is like, oh, wow, oh, really, they did that. Everybody's got a different way. And our guest that we have on the second half of the show for you guys, you know, not to get away from James's question, but you're going to see, I mean, even the software guys are trying to, you know, come up with solutions for these Reg.As and offerings, and there's a lot of in the industry. So, James, thank you very much for your question. We encourage all our listeners, you know how to get in touch with us. It's IPO to go or Reg.A Money.com. There's a question and answer, not a question and answer, but there's a question segment on those websites that you can put in your question, and we'll read it on the air if we get a lot of questions. But we thought that this would, you know, I guess Ron thought this would be a good one because there is a little controversy in it. But I don't think it's controversy, Ron. I just think it's just the market. It's the way the market is going to play out. Some people are going to be long. Some people are going to be short. Some people are going to want to make a profit day one. Hey, and God bless them. But guess what? You can make these guys that are making $1 on Reg.A, they would have not been able to do that 2 years ago.
Yep. Yeah, and the part about James's question about I don't expect you to address this question in your show. That's what got me to address the question on the show. So that worked out really well. And Miguel, loved your answer and everything. I think what we'll do right now is we'll take a little break, and in the second half of the show, we've got Brock Murray from Catapult Software on. He's going to talk all about that software that you just mentioned, and he's got so much information. I have a feeling, Miguel, we're going to go a little overtime on this one, but it's going to be worth it. I think the information is going to be great. So everyone out there, sit tight, and we'll be right back with the second part of our show.